So, how to make money as a art collector. So, I am an artist first and foremost. Um, I have a love for art and a love for crypto, so I've become a collector of crypto art and NFTs. So I'm going to take you through the sales I've made over the last month or two, and it's not many, but I'll show you, and then I'm going to explain my thinking and strategy behind what I did and how I did it. So I hope that helps you out. Um, so this is Nifty Gateway. This is my main site that I use. I'm going to be in an hour and 50 minutes bidding on a couple of these pieces here. I won't tell you which ones or what I'm going to do, but I'll decide when the time comes. But if we go across, I'm an artist on Nifty Gateway. So you can see here my collection. This is what I've dropped in the past. But if we look at my collections here, and it's all on the site, you can see everything's listed on the blockchain, so I don't mind showing you any of this stuff. You can see some of the artworks I've collected in the past. And some of these I put reasonable prices on to resell, and some I put prices on, I intend to keep this, and this is just a price that, I'll only sell it if it gets to that ridiculous type level. And the market has been so hot lately that I've had to do that with several of them. And I've accidentally let a couple go as well because I didn't intend to sell, but at the time I put a price on it, and it's just got so hot, the market, that they've sold. So every day I get offers received. In the back end of Nifty Gateway, you get offers received. So the pieces I have, you can see someone's offered that. Often it's a global bid, but sometimes they offer directly. So for this piece, there's $350. For Bull Run, someone's just tried to get it for $50 as if they're going to be able to do that. This one's 20,000, 20,000. So you can see bids and offers come in all the time for pieces that I own. And I don't think I've ever directly accepted one of those offers. But I just captured it the other day. There was a $40,000 offer on a Bull Run. And I didn't take that. I didn't take it. I thought it was undervalued. So that's the offers received. If I come across to my sales now, I'll show you. So I've sold a Bull Run, which means like I owned two, and I've sold one in the past. So here it shows you I sold it for $369, $3,690, and yeah, I bought it for just under $1,000. And if you've come across to, I think I've got the page open for it. If you come across to this page for Bull Run, you can get lots of stats here about its past performance. So you can see it's over 600% increase. The highest active bid, like I just showed you before, was $20,000. But if you go to global history, and what I like here is you can go to the complete history or only sales. It shows you the last one was sold for $55,000. Then before that, just under $50,000, $33,000, $32,000, $25,000, $20,000. So you can see how the market starts to rise slowly over a period of days, but slowly but surely. So you can get some stats there. And there's also a good price graph it shows you. So you might say that, I was crazy selling that one in hindsight now, when I could have got easily $40,000 for it. And in hindsight, possibly. But selling this gave me the dry powder, or gave me the cash to buy more art. And so the next one I bought and sold was this one here called the Rectangle. This is it here, beautiful piece by 6 and 5. And I'd never intended to sell this one. I immediately got offers. I bought it for $650. And I immediately got offers for like a couple of thousand, 2,000, and I rejected them, intending to keep it. But then a few days later after that, I got a bid for 7,500, And I thought, that's my number, I guess, because I was willing to sell it for that. That's my number. I wanted to keep it, but for $7,500, I was willing to let it go. So I bought it for $650, sold for $7,500. I received this after the commission, is 10% of royalty on each secondary market sale goes back to the artist. So that's the difference here. So I received $6,374. The artist gets a cut of that. And so I've, 10 times, 10x'd my money there on that one. This one is, I was just speculating a bit on this one because it was 50 cents. There was a limited edition of whatever it has here, 140, or maybe not limited edition, it was open edition, but it was 50 cents. So I thought, I can't lose. And the next day I sold it for over $100. This one here, I didn't intend to sell, but I did buy it. It was, number 45 of 100. Initial sale price was about $100, I think. Let's see if I come across here. It should show me the initial sales price somewhere. Anyway, you can see I sold it for $4,500. Edition history. Here you go, Mankind, $100, Jan 20. And then one day ago, so about under a month, I've been holding on to this one. Maybe just a few weeks. So it went from $100 to $4,500. And I set that price thinking it wouldn't get sold, but it did. And the last one here is this one here from my buddy. I bought two items from his sale, and let's bring it up here. Fantastic VR piece by a giant swan. But I bought, I think it was $350. Here we go, original price $350, and I put a price that was 3 times more, not thinking it would sell so quickly. But the market has really heated up, and so it has sold for 3 times what I bought it for, but not quite 3 times after the money I received at the end. So that's pretty much all my sales. And I've still got a great collection of items, and what I have now is the potential to reinvest what I've made back into crypto art and to give more artists support and help, and potentially if the market keeps going up and heating up, then I can still sell some of those and then keep some. So let me just take you through. When I bought this one, Beeple wasn't as huge as he is now. Just got announced that he's going to be the first digital artist to sell at Christie's. So everything that's happened since me buying this one was unknown. So it's a speculation, and I was quite nervous to buy. My idea was I definitely wanted a Beeple, but I thought, let me speculate and buy 2, one to keep and one to sell. And I thought if I can make a profit, then I'll have more money. And my plan pretty much worked out. So I'm keeping the one that I've got. So he released this even before. I've made a whole video about it, so you can go back and watch that. But this was one of the first open editions he did, and I really didn't know what was going to happen afterwards, and it was going to blow up so much. So how could I possibly know I could have sold it for $40,000? But what I'm looking for is something that's undervalued. And at that stage, I thought $1,000 to buy this piece was a lot, but I still thought in the future, people will do bigger things. So this is undervalued. And it was worth trying to get in. And I didn't have like tens and 20 millions to spend on crypto art. So this was a speculation at the time. So first of all, that was what I'm looking for, something undervalued. And that is with all these pieces. I have a background in digital art, so I know these artists. I know the pedigree they come from and what they're capable of. I know the projects they've worked on. So I know this is the maker of Rick and Morty. If someone came along and they weren't familiar, they'd look at this sketch and go, I don't understand why it's going to be worth so much. But if you understand the artist behind it, then you understand a bit more the value. So I'm looking for something that's undervalued. The next thing I'm looking for is I'm looking for a market buying advantage. So with these drops here, this one here as well, this one, yeah, with the limited editions and even with the open editions, was an open edition. There's a time schedule. There's like 5 minutes. If you're not there to buy within those 5 minutes, then you have to buy off the secondary market. So I've always got to be in the right place at the right time buying to be able to make that. So that gives me a competitive advantage on the market. If you have more money than time, then you're willing to spend more on the piece that you want. So that is what happens with a lot of these. So even though I bought this at 50 cents, not everyone gets to buy it in that 5 minutes. You might not be available. So that's the market advantage I have there. Another thing I go for is the potential of the artist in the future. So this artist here, 6 and 5, is not a household name, but I know they've done lots of different work for large companies in the past. They've even done desktops for Microsoft. So if people didn't know and have their research done, they wouldn't know that. But I know that the people behind this project and this art, they're not going to stop. They're not about to stop tomorrow unless there's something drastic that happens, and they're going to keep putting out good work for great clients. And even if they go solo and just do crypto art, their potential is huge. So, I was betting that $650 was undervalued, and it turned out to be right. And that's with all of these artists. The other thing is the research. So you've got to do your own research. I look at things like their socials. I know a lot of this just from experience and being in the space, but if you're a new investor and you didn't know about the backgrounds of art, these are the things I also look at, but I would look at it or suggest you look at their socials, you look at their traditional background away from their socials, away from what is sort of online, whatever you can find that's a background to them. The groups and cliques that they hang around with, if they've got famous friends and it's, and they're an unknown, it's more likely they're going to come through the ranks, sort of like a Kardashian knowing a Paris Hilton. They could be the next big thing and be worth multiples more because of their association. And then also the craft. This obviously doesn't have a lot of craft in it, but the background and the work that is associated with this artist, the craft that goes into that does take a long time. And then this, obviously, you might not know about 3D art. You might even think it's a photo. It's not. But the craft that goes into this is quite high. Like, these are guys that are after my own heart. It's a sort of style that I'm into and I like doing myself. And, and Beeple's not a style that I do myself, but I understand the craft behind it. And this one here, not a lot of people, I should bring it up bigger because obviously it's going to be small on screen. People might not realize this is all done in virtual reality, all sculpted and painted and all. So that's an epic undertaking. And so I appreciate that craft behind that. So even though it's not a household name or a famous name, what goes into this and the craft when you find out how it was made adds a lot of value. And I thought this was undervalued when I bought it. So that's, and I'll leave it on this one. This is a nice image. So I'm no professional. So I've made sort of minimal sales, but off those thousands of dollars I've been able to generate. I'm going to put that back into collecting more people's art, hopefully one or two today from a Nifty Gateway drop. But I'm no professional. People are doing this all over the space in different platforms, not just Nifty Gateway. You've got lots of different crypto art platforms, and not just crypto art, NFTs in general, game assets, collectibles, trading cards, the whole lot. There's much more professional people than me making much more money than me doing just what I'm doing here, but taking it more seriously. I'm a creator. I'm an artist first and foremost, so I don't always get to jump on these trends that are happening. And I love my collection. Let me go back to my collection. I love supporting the artists that I have, and those are the tactics I would use, and a lot of collectors use, to make a lot of money as a collector or an art appreciator. And I hope that can take you on a journey to maybe doing the same thing if that is what you are into. So I hope that helped, guys. And until next time, see you later.